So I just watched Batwoman episode 13 entitled Drink Me, and there's one thing that stood out to me that I just can't really seem to let go. For me, Crisis on Infinite Earths was a poop storm, CW style. I'm not one of those comic nerds that's just going to be like, oh my God, it has to be canon. But I mean, come on, guys, it was ridiculous. But something that is bothering me is the introduction of post-crisis villains but using pre-crisis characters. So I wrote a letter to the writers in green Sharpie. Dear CW writers, Natalia Knight is pre-crisis Nocturna. She used to be Batman's former lover, and she's also the adopted mother of the second Robin, Jason Todd. Post-crisis Nocturna is named Natalie Mattermich. She was an astronaut and also really into science and has nothing to do with Natalia Knight. She actually has the ability to secrete these pheromones that makes you do whatever she wants. She's also a member of the Injustice League, at least until the New 52 incarnation of her, which is also Natalie Mattermich, which is not Natalia Knight, because Natalia Knight was a pre-crisis villain, not post-crisis. We are in post-crisis. So, in retrospect, please read your own material and do research. Thank you. Approach the Nerd. Hi guys, my name is Maria Park and this is Approach the Nerd. And in this episode, we are reviewing 113 of Batwoman entitled Drink Me. And we might be going a little bit over episode 12 because I didn't do a review for it for Take Your Choice. Which will be very short, but it kind of plays into 13 a little bit as well. So I'll just do a brief summary of 12 and then we'll jump into 13. So in issue 12, or episode 12 of Batwoman, Kate has to make a very hard choice. We know that Beth, doppelganger from another Earth, Beth, is who Alice should have been had she not been basically held against her will by a sociopath. Beth is our doppelganger, Beth, is a humanitarian. She's a physicist. She's brilliant. She's very, very sweet. Completely opposite of Alice. And unfortunately, in the rules of post-crisis, two doppelgangers cannot share the same space without one of them having to die. And Kate has to make the determination on which one to save. And that episode actually was not a bad episode. I enjoyed it a lot. And I really felt bad for Kate because she feels so guilty that she did not reach into the car and grab her twin when the car was going over. And it makes it worse for Kate realizing that her doppelganger did save her twin. And that is why Beth is flourishing and has, this wonderful personality and basically who is the Beth that Kate dreams her twin being. Now on the flip side, there's also Alice being a sociopath, which we do understand trauma causes a lot. I mean, when you're young and you have to take on a different identity to survive the grotesque and insane things she's had to survive, she could have been a lot worse. I mean, I'm not saying she's not bat poop crazy. Yeah, I did that. But you kind of sympathize with Alice a lot because she was on her own for years. No one knew she was alive. I mean, that's hard for anyone. And I guess another thing is that Alice, if you see when Alice is making like these horrible speeches and doing these horrible things, if you look at her eyes, they don't match the actions. It's like she does regret what she's doing, but she knows no other way of doing things. And it's sad. It's very sad. Is Alice redeemable? That's a big question in this episode. I don't know. It was interesting that the cure was Mary's blood because of the flower that, she was injected with to save her life when Alice poisoned her and her mother. It was basically kind of a round robin in a way that the one thing that Alice needed to survive was the thing that she had and injected into Mary. And Mary was like, no, give it to Beth. This woman killed my mother. And it's almost like Kate had so many dilemmas. I mean, the guilt over not saving her twin, the whole what would have happened with Mary if she chose Alice over Beth. I mean, there's so many stacks against Alice anyway. And then Alice just being a sociopath didn't help. I mean, she doesn't do things that make you want to be, on Team Alice and believe that she's redeemable. So that entire episode was awesome. And honestly, guys, I knew Alice wasn't going anywhere because she's a very complex character, and Beth is more one note. So I knew that she was going to either die or something was going to happen. So yeah, when somebody shot her and killed her, I got it. I knew that was going to happen. Something like that was going to happen at the end of that episode. And now they have to worry about Alice's retribution, because Alice, she's very good at paying people back. So yeah, episode 12, very good episode leading into 13. And in 13, Kate's still dealing with the choice. I mean, losing Beth, still kind of not feeling guilty about choosing Beth over Alice, which is another dilemma for Kate. I mean, she's like, I wanted to save Beth. I wanted to have that twin. This is the relationship that I dreamed of having with my sister that I can never have with this nut, basically. So, but then Alice feels so like, how can you give up on me? It's like all through the first half of the season, she's like, give up on me, give up on me. I'm not Beth. I'm not Beth. And now she's like, wait, you're really giving up on me? So it's just really, really weird. So yeah, I don't know if Alice is redeemable. Even if she is, she's done some things that you can never forgive, like killing Mary's mother. Mary's never going to be able to let that go. And I don't know what kind of damage it will do with Kate and Mary if Alice does come back into the fold. I don't know. But I mean, it's happened. It's the CW. People forgive people for all kinds of stuff that you would not think a normal person would. So, I mean, who knows? But anyway, so episode 13, basically Drink Me, is about Nocturna. The wrong Nocturna. This is actually pre-crisis Nocturna, Natalia King. But you know what? Or Knight, sorry. I'm going to ignore all that. I'm just going to talk about the episode in general. So Nocturna, Natalie Knight, has a disease where her kidneys do not flush, toxins out, and she's not able to go in sunlight. Kind of like a vampire. I mean, she probably should make friends with Morbius and Marvel, but that's a whole other conversation. Apparently her father dies, and he was the one taking care of her, and when he died, she had to go fend for herself, and she does this by basically stealing the blood of people, draining them dry and killing them. Yeah. So a lot of things happened as side plots. We have Sophie, who is coming more and more and more out of the closet. She saves Batwoman from being discovered by the rest of the crows by letting her go, which unfortunately comes back to bite her in the butt because it was being recorded. And of course, Kate's dad got the video and kind of told her she had to choose, are you going to help this vigilante? Or are you going to do your job? And it's like, wow. Honestly, his character is annoying me a lot. He's so flippy-floppy. I thought he had worked all this stuff out with Batwoman when she was in the church with him and saved his life with the poisonous gas. But now he's back to, no, vigilante. But I guess the problem with him is Jacob wants his crow security firm to be the only security and hope for Gotham City. And you've got Batwoman running around, basically solving things that they should be doing and stopping people that they should be stopping. And he's a little irked about that. It's almost more business, like than it is moralistic, in my opinions. But his character as a whole is annoying me. I mean, if he were to die in the next episode, I would not shed a tear. I'm just letting you know. Then we have Mary. I've always loved Mary. Mary is one of my favorite characters in this entire series. She's extremely smart, but she puts this like airheaded, ditzy type persona out there. People just think she's a social media, personality when she's so more than that. And I love that she's helping Batwoman's team, or Team Batwoman, and she doesn't even realize she's doing it. She doesn't realize that Kate is Batwoman yet. Though that changes in this episode because of two things. Number one, Luke is basically horrible at keeping secrets. Because, he tells Kate, you can't tell your identity to this person, blah, blah, blah. But yet you're on an earwig with her right now in front of Mary. Why does an assistant for a real estate firm need to have the boss in his ear all night? It doesn't make any sense. Mary's not an idiot, And then, of course, the ketamine in the blood that Kate has, which also what was found in her blood and Batwoman's blood. I mean, she puts two and two together at the end of this episode. She knows Kate is Batwoman. I don't know how that's going to play out in tonight's episode because I am filming this tonight. Episode 14 is airing tonight. I'm a little late. So I want to see if Kate's going to kind of brush that under and make some lame excuse. Oh, I'm not Batwoman. You're crazy. You've been, filming too much, blah, blah, blah. But Mary to me, deserves to know. Because she's already working with Kate. Who's she going to tell? She's not going to get on her channel or on Instagram or whatever and be like, oh, by the way, my adopted or stepsister is really Batwoman. She's not going to do that. So Kate has no reason not to tell Mary, especially if her whole mode is, it will put you in danger. The girl's kidnapped every other week. It doesn't matter. She's going to be kidnapped regardless. Come on. So yeah, Mary needs to know. I did think it was cute that her and Luke had like a little moment where he came to save her from one of her social media fans by claiming to be her boyfriend. And of course, Mary's like brother or friend's brother. They really didn't get that together. But she makes a comment about his glow-in-the-dark tie and that she was really into it. And I can see them being a little cute couple. So I think that could happen. Luke and Mary could be hooking up. You never know. It is CW. Everyone has to hook up, even a superhero show. So, yeah, I like that plot. I also thought it was interesting, back to Sophie, that Sophie has kissed Batwoman. Like, actually, she kissed Batwoman at the end of the episode, or I guess it was the last scene of the episode, on the rooftop after telling her, I got in trouble at work. I think she got suspended. I have to go back and look at it again. But this is her dream job. She trained for it. And, of course, Batwoman's like, okay, I'll stay away from you. And then Sophie's the one that kissed her. Now, does she know that Batwoman and Kate are the same person? Is she just excited to have another lesbian on the roof and she's stressed out and needs somebody to vent to, and making out seems to be her de-stressor? I don't know. But she was the initiator in that kiss. So now I'm like, Sophie, what's going on? So they're all over the place. And Kate was totally the jealous girlfriend or ex-girlfriend in the club scene. Because to catch Nocturna, Kate basically uses her new gay nightclub to basically throws a huge party, because apparently Nocturna goes for people at parties that are partying or after party people, sets this whole thing up as a ruse to kind of draw Nocturna out. And she actually sees, Natalia flirting with Sophie, and Sophie is dressed up really hot to blend in the club. So she's not wearing her normal black suit attire that the crows normally wear. She's dressed up. And Kate is jealous, and I think that is hilarious. The entire banter between her and Luke was really funny. They're actually acting more like siblings than they are co-workers at this point. And I love how he's like, are we going to sit here and make a reaction video? Or are you going to go down there? And it's just like, and his excuse for not going in her stead was that he had a glow-in-the-dark tie. And she's like, I hate you. You're not ever leaving the bat, cave again. But, she interjected into that moment of flirting between Natalia and Sophie extremely quickly. So yeah, there's a lot of unresolved stuff, which we already knew that, and I think that's going to be dealt with a lot in tonight's episode, because I think in the synopsis, Sophie's mother is going to be paying a visit. So if Sophie's ever going to come out of the closet, it's going to be tonight, hopefully. It is what it is. And then back to Alice. So Alice is dealing with two things. Mouse is missing because Mouse's father actually took on another identity as another prestigious doctor and has been alive this entire time, and he kidnapped him. He blames Alice for taking his son. That's a whole other level of crack. That is a whole thing. I'm not even going to touch on that a lot because I'm sure that's going to be dealt with more in this season later on. But Daddy is back. Daddy is not dead, and Daddy kidnapped Mouse. And Alice is talking to this mannequin with this mock face of Mouse, I guess. I don't know. It was very creepy. Nocturna kidnaps her to drain her. Alice literally threw Mary under the bus. I don't know if this is part of her retribution, but she said, oh yeah, go get this chick. She's got this really special blood that might cure you. So of course Nocturna goes and kidnaps Mary because, why not? And it's so creepy. Mary's out helping this woman who's vomiting and having a bad time recovering from, I guess, the alcohol she's had. And Nocturna just comes out of nowhere and just bites her in the alleyway. And I'm like, that's messed up. Mary needs, she's going to need some trauma therapy at some point. All this crap that's happening with her. But yeah, so she's draining Mary dry. Alice did not want to tell Batwoman what she did, where Nocturna took Mary, none of that stuff. But then she turns around and saves Mary because Batwoman is fighting Nocturna and is about to be hit by her, and Alice saves Kate. And then basically says, I think it was O negative blood, so I'm a universal donor. I can give her my blood and save it. And she saves Mary. I don't know if that was her saying, I am worth it, I should have been chosen, or if she has some other nefarious plans, because it is Alice. But that was very interesting. So Alice, I mean, I never know what's going on in her head. I'm going to be real. But I do know that she was very annoyed that, she had this belief that Kate was going to choose her, and Kate did not. And at this point still doesn't believe it was a bad choice. So, I don't know. But I felt that was really, really interesting. But yeah, like the entire episode for Drink Me was not bad. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of unresolved, romantic stuff going on between Kate and Sophie, and now Batwoman and Sophie, if Sophie doesn't realize that Batwoman and Kate are the same person. We got to see more of Mary. Anytime I see Mary in an episode, I'm excited because I love Mary, and Mary has figured out on her own that Kate is Batwoman, and she figures out everything. I mean, Mary was talking about the multiverse before they even realized that Beth was a doppelganger from another Earth, because she knows nothing about Crisis. So I'm like, Mary is a very cool character that they need to incorporate more into the Batwoman universe, because they would solve things faster with her help. I really believe that. Luke is a great a technical genius. Mary is a medical genius, in my opinion. I mean, she's running an underground hospital, and she's not even out of medical school. She solves things and is able to look at research and know how to find information through her social media stuff that Kate can't do. Because honestly, Kate can't do any of this by herself. If there was no Luke and Mary, there'd be no Batwoman. She would find no one. No one. She's the muscle. She is not the brains. So I love the dynamic with Luke and Mary, and I love Mary as a character. And Luke is actually warming up a little in my heart. I mean, yeah, he's not the Luke I'm used to in the comics. Actually, in Crisis, in the alternate Earth with Kevin Conroy as Batman, that Luke is closer to what Lucius Fox was in the comic book, or Luke Jr. was in the comic books. So I don't know, but he's the comedic part of this dark world. He just is. And, I'm okay with that. He's basically, I'm warming up to him more. But yeah, not a bad episode. I just wish that the writers were more in tune with content, and the fact that they're bringing in pre-crisis characters into a post-crisis setting. And I really do need to do a video on this, guys, because it's so weird to have all of the Earths merge and then reforming other worlds, like Stargirl is going to have her own world and blah, blah, blah. But taking pre-crisis villains and characters and bringing them into the post-crisis world. It's almost like reverting. But I guess if you're not a fan of the comics, you wouldn't know the difference. But yeah, it's just really, really weird. But that's basically how I feel. I want to know what you guys think. Please leave me a comment below and let me know. And if you would like to sign up for Jury Duty, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to know who's next on the Nerd Bell, hit the notification bell. Until next time, I can't wait for you to approach the nerd. Bye, guys. Thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate it. But hey, the party doesn't have to stop now. Click on one of these videos and keep it going.